So we're gonna go with not at all. We don't trust Egra at all. That's what we're gonna go with and see how that ends. Considering we have already gotten a good ending with the worst one. I'm not gonna pick up canon ending just yet. I'm gonna pick up that after I'm done with the second ending. We'll see. Not at all. You've seen how she tricks others, how she tricks and manipulates them. She's doing the same thing to you. You're not sure what game she's playing with you, but you will not be you will not be a fool any longer. If you can get the necklace off your neck, you will be the one in control. You will know the difference between what you think and what Egra is feeding you, but how. Egra does not allow you to take her off unless she wants you to. Perhaps you could trip and fall in such a way that the necklace naturally falls off. She might not allow you to take her off directly, but will she interfere with your accidental tripping? I can read your thoughts, champion, says Egra, her voice annoyed. Do not waste time. You're surrounded by dangerous powers far beyond you. Before me, you're just a thief, clever and charming, perhaps, but of no consequence in the universe. You're a champion of the gods. Interesting how quickly you drop your carefree and humorous manner when challenged, you say. Although these are your surface thoughts for Egra, you struggle to think about something else, something deeper, thoughts maybe she will miss as she is distracted by her typical complaining. What is her weakness? I want to win, she says. If you do not find a place to hide, your body will be destroyed. That would be inconvenient for me, but worse, I'm actually fond of you, champion. Where do you suggest we hide? You say, considering you know of these dangerous powers better than I do. We will be safe. What is her weakness? Her pride? Is it that she is coward that hides? What? Is it that she is a coward that hides? Is it that she is predictable? You choose where we hide, says Egra. You want free agency? You have it. It is important that you choose. What is a weakness? You wonder what my weakness is, says Egra with a laugh. Obviously, she managed to read your inner thoughts after all. My weakness is that I suffer fools too gladly. Indeed, I ride one now. What do you think a weakness is? Well, let's take a look what a weakness is. I have my fucking walkthrough pulled up anyway. So all of these are great options apparently. First one gives you 4 morale, second one gives you 3, and the last one gives you 5. So we're gonna go with that. She is predictable. Morale increases 2. Your weakness is that you're predictable, you say. There's a slight pause. Nonsense, she says. I'm the trickster. I'm anything but predictable. Sure, you're predictable, you say. That is why you need me to make decisions. Otherwise, your enemies will certainly are. Yeah, this is the thing that she said. Her habits. Right. Sure, you're predictable, you say. That is why you need me to make decisions. Otherwise, your enemies, which certainly are plentiful and very powerful, would find you because they know you. You cannot change. You're predictable. Oh, you know me? She says mockingly. Only days ago when I found you, you were covered in sewer excrement, the plaything of that witch. I've saved your pathetic, ungrateful life 1,000 times too. You touched a nerve, that is for certain. You have guessed correctly. And with that, you drive it home. You are predictable. Everything is a trick for you. And that is why I know you are not Egra, godling of Ohur. You're not Egra, godling of Ohur, but you do fancy yourself a trickster. Likely you are Ohur himself, and there is no Egra. Likely this whole contest between the gods is a farce too. On and on, tricks within tricks, so boring. Holy shit, he actually decoded the whole thing that we unlocked with the first ending. Wow, this is unexpected, honestly. Morale increases 3. Egra is silent, confusing, surprised. This is your chance. Mustering all your will and necklace, you grasp the necklace, rip it off. Your muscle lock, but a moment too late. The chains leave your leave your hand. You watch the pendant spin in the air, reflecting on the in the ground light, in the morning light, and strikes the ground. Your control of your muscles instantly returns. You step away, giving yourself distance from the artifact, which keeping your eyes on it. It is Ohur, the god of trickery himself, hides in that jewel. The hair on your arm stand up as suddenly Inuxius appears only a few meters away. He's staring at you, his green eyes blazing with rage. That is not the wizard you first saw in the cabin beside the underground river. This is Nerul. In her rage, confusion, and fear, she has taken over. Liar. And an unseen force slams into you, throws you to the ground. Few options come to your mind. Your holy sword is in your hand, although it is pinned to the ground. Maybe you can call upon Aletheia to aid you. Another option is to try to speak to Inuxius and urge him to fight. Nerul might be in control, but she might be vulnerable in her rage. Maybe the mortal wizard can fight her. What do you say? Well, the best ending is try to get through to Inuxius, so let's do that. Morale increases 2. I don't know if it's true or not. You say, I don't know if you had been lied to all this time. Inuxius walks towards you, his eyes blazing down upon you. Inuxius, what I do know is that Nerul will never be satisfied. It matters not whether she finds her lost love, her soul is lost. You must cast her out. You're certain he can do it. You cast out your oppressor. Now he must do the same. He raises his hand. It glows with a fierce green. Surely you're about to die. His hand is grasped by Nerissa. No more, my love, she says. His blazing eyes turn to her now. She wrests his hand from her, taking a staggering step away from her, raises his hand again, this time as though about to strike Nerissa. She lifts her chin defiantly, unafraid. "No more, my love," she repeats. He takes in shuddering breaths, lurches down as though sick, falls onto his knees and curls up, rocking his face, forehead, and smearing the ash-covered ground. Narissa's face is one of a sudden hope. Get out," she cries as she kneels down, wraps her arms around him. "Cast her aside, my love. Nerul is weak, you shout, getting to your feet. Her purpose is in doubt. You are the god slayer. You have the strength. Finish her." Love is lost to Nerul," says Narissa. "Not to you. I am with you to the end." And Euxis' face is contorted in exertion. He opens his eyes, looks up at Narissa, who is holding him. "Without her, how will I protect you? How will I keep you all safe?" he gasps out. Your sword blazes with white fire. The undead are moaning and flailing about as though confused in pain. "Liar," comes a hissing voice through the air. The undead turns to you and begin to close in. Evidently, your pendant of undead protection is of little use now. You leap over to Nuxius and Narissa's side as they rock together in a huddle. The undead come in from all directions, many of them seemingly intent on you. Nuxius and Narissa provide some barrier, which allows you to not have to defend all sides completely at once. With great vigor, you hack down several of the undead. "Fight, fight," come Narissa's voice. "My love, fight her." Claws wrap around your throat from behind. Then there's a jolt and the pressure releases. You spin around and come face to face with a smiling Regnal. "Back to back, Rooster." You smile as you put your back to him and fight the oncoming horde. "You have been training for this," you say, as you cleave through a zombie skull with a blazing sword. He grunts in acknowledgement as he battles. Movement in your peripheral vision makes you pivot back, and you see Narissa being dragged away by her hair by a large Orthrax demon. "This must be Nerul's doing." "No," shouts Anuxius, his voice frantic. He stands up, his face painted with pain. "Betrayer, back to the abyss," the wizards shout. The morning sunlight dims, and there is a low boom that shakes the ground. Anuxius' body glows with fierce green that swiftly brightens into a blinding aura that is so bright you're forced to look away. Whoosh! You're thrown to the ground. As you get to your feet, there are countless thumps and clanks as the undead fall, now lifeless. Regnald is also getting to his feet, his eyes wide and the beginning of a smile on his face. Eunuchus is laid out flat on the ground, motionless. Narissa is frantically calling towards him. Now the undead have been laid low. You see the ruinous distance, the approach of two battered armies, one of gleaming armor, glowing with light of Aletheia, and another a flaming horde of devils. At the front of Alethian line charges Maiden Avis, wreathed in holy light. Beside her is a huge knight, perhaps the size of a hill giant. His armor is silver, spattered in gore. "They come for ghosts," says Reginald. There's rustling sound that gathers into a hiss of dragging flesh and squeal of dragging metal. All around, the bodies of the fallen dead are coming together into a massive pile. A green glow appears beside them. Pile is already as tall as a house, getting larger as it takes forms like one massive humanoid. Green glowing thresholds threads holds the undead together, but also some of them grasp each other with claws and hands. The mass rides and moans. "It is that queen bitch queen," says Regnal to himself. He calls over to Nuxus, who stands on shaking leg. Narissa has her arm around him, holding him up. It may be time for a teleport, my friend." Nuxus shakes his head. "No, we must end this here." "Oh," says Regnal as he cranes his neck up at the rapidly growing monster. As one, the monster screams from 1,000 mouths, making your skin crawl. Your legs go weak as you desperately hold your fiercely burning sword out in front of you. "Do we just start hacking at its legs, you say?" Regnal says nothing as he sucks in a deep breath. You did not exactly expect an answer. Reasoning with it is straight out. The monster is fury incarnate. Another huge shadow is cast over you. Blue dragon circles the Nerulian monster as though not sure what to make of it. The massive monster, now taller than anything in sight, pivots around, screaming from its countless mouths, throws the arms up at the dragon, dislodging much of his forearm, shooting forth scattered clumps of writhing undead. The dragon careens back to dodge, but is struck by a dozen of the undead which latch onto it, heavy with clawing, biting, and death. The dragon's struggle to stay in the air is now swiftly losing altitude. Your attention is diverted from the dragon as the monster flings undead in your direction. You run and dive out of the way of one flailing undead that bursts into sputtering gore as it strikes the ground it had been. Another one of the discarded undead crawls towards you, its lower half shattered. You bury your blade into its skull. The devil appears to be in full retreat. Perhaps they see no benefit in this fight. The Lathian continue the charge, are only a few meters away and closing fast. Nuxus is casting a spell as Narissa Narissa stands near him, her sword at the ready. Regnal takes up a defensive position on Nuxius' other flank. The monster launches more undead, striking a shield around Nuxius and the others, sputtering gore and making the shield flicker violently. Those undead that were not completely demolished by the impact with the ground or the shield rise up to their feet. Narissa and Regnal step forward and dispatch these as Nuxius holds fireball at the monster with excellent accuracy. Boom, boom. The fireballs explode within the creatures, cratering his body and expelling burning flesh. How these cottage-sized craters quickly fill in with more crawling undead. Time to be a hero, but how? Without Egra, you're just one man with an excellent sword. However, if you can reach Maiden Avis and convince her to join forces with Nuxius, then together you may have a chance to fight against this titanic abomination. You dash towards the Lathian line, the blazing sword in the air. You expect they will know the holy light of your blade to be your own, but who can say in the heat of battle, Lathians, I am with you, you shout. There's a chorus of screams to your right. The massive monster lumbers towards you, making the ground shake as it flings undead at the closing Lathians on one side and Nuxius and his companions on the other. This thing is not fast, however it is huge, so it covers ground quickly, perhaps as quickly as you can sprint. What do you do? So we have multiple endings here. So apparently you get a happy ending if you choose the first one. Other ones are just random endings, I suppose. They just decrease life, but you get an achievement for the first one. These are all happy endings as far as I can tell. Keep turning towards the Lathian line is that is the happy ending apparently, but that doesn't even give you that much life. Run away from the monster is the better one, but whatever. Keep running towards the Lathian line. We'll choose that, I suppose. Well, didn't get an achievement. An alliance must be formed, you think. You cannot have a Lathian fighting Nuxius, not with this thing rampaging. Nerul's wrath must be destroyed. Keep running towards the Lathian line. Meanwhile, the monster is getting closer to you. In your peripheral, you can see the titanic titan raising an arm. You pour on speed and zigzagging. Life decreases 3. Bodies of flesh rain down upon you, smashing and sputtering gore. Miraculously not hit directly, but one of the demonic undead that landed ahead of you rises up with great speed and claws you in the chest. You hack the large monster, large zombie down, then another. You're stalled as you hew down one undead after the next. However, now Lathians have reached the monster. The titan is now focusing on its immediate threat. You shout at the Lathians to not harm Nuxius, that he's on your side, but you doubt you can be heard over the wailing from the monster and clanking of the Lathian host, not to mention the booms from Nuxius' lightning and fireball. Your plea may not matter anyway. The Lathians seem set on the monster and the line has reached their enemy. Your plea may not matter anyway. The Nerulian monster is trying to stomp Avis. However, its massive writhing foot slips around the edge of Avis's shield. Priestess does not strike with a sword, rather she only holds it up as though making a parry. Likely she is focusing on defense, and a mighty defense it is. Meanwhile, the giant-sized knight is focusing on offense, smashing his massive warhammer into the foot and the leg of Nerulian monster. The other paladins swarm around the feet of the beast, but they are getting crushed by the monster's stomping feet and slain by undead that are raining down upon them. Since paladins are being absorbed into the monster as they die, you wonder if they're doing any more harm than good. Nuxius, Regnal, and Narissa advance slowly. Regnal and Narissa doing a fine job butchering hurled undead, while Nuxius continues his barrage of well-placed spells. The monster howls and turns and stomps towards the Nuxius, the others. As the monster closes in, foot poised above them, Narissa and Regnal close ranks and place a hand on Nuxius' shoulder. The three of them disappears, the foot slams down, only to reappear nearby. Nuxius throws a huge fireball that streaks up into the heart of the beast and explodes, raining fiery flesh, making the monster stagger. The monster, dripping with undead, dives out at Nuxius. Again, they teleport away just in time. Boom. The monster stamps against the ground, sweating a flood of gore, yet the thing reforms even as the Nuxius strikes it again with the side with chain lightning. Magnificent, you whisper in awe. The three of them work as a team. Nuxius with the spell power and the two other defending his flanks rear from the unrushing undead. Over and over they appear and spread out and strike the titan, coalesce, and then teleport to another location to repeat. But how long then can they keep this up? And what can you do? If you attack it, surely you will die, and then your body will be added to that nightmare. The giant knight, as though not to be outdone by Nuxius, charges in and begins smiting the monster from the other side using his warhammer in a renewed frenzy. The monster rides and shoots straight up in a pillar and then crashes down upon the knight like a wave crushing him, engulfing him. So is he dead? He might be dead, I don't know. Boom, boom, boom. The Nuxius brings down more lightning from above. The monster rises up, taking shape as a towering humanoid again, lunges towards the Nuxius and the others. Again, the teleport, but this time is slower and they're almost crushed. There's hum on your hair stands on the end. Well, where's fucking what is that her name? Fuck. What is her name again? The fucking chick. Fucking Azazel, where is she? I feel like she's gonna come again and crush fucking our boy. Beside you appear Kriya, Kalak, and Drala. Fucking hell. Without a word, all three witches begin singing spells at the monster as they advance forward as one, striking its other flank. You march along with them, your sword at the ready. The morning flashes with the explosions as green tendrils whip in the air and flesh bursts with fiery plumes. The monster lets out an unearthly shriek of its countless voices, and then collapses all at once. The bodies of the undead washing out in all directions as a great wave of horror. The witches put their hands up as one as the wave strikes a great shield and washes around. The magical shield takes the worst of it, but then the shield fails. Now you're pressed in by the undead. One has a fistful of your hair, another is clawing your arm. You hack and you cleave with everything you have, and once you're free of your own attackers, you set upon these three undead attacking the witches.